Another way to solve quadratic equations is with the square root method. With the square root method, you will move all of the perfect square terms to the left-hand side of the equals or equation. Then you will take the square root of both sides and solve for x. Don't forget to include both positive and negative solutions on that right-hand side when you take the square root. Now let's look at an example for the square root property. Notice that the perfect square term is x squared. That's the term that we need to isolate to one side. To begin doing this process, I'm going to add 3 to both sides of the equation, giving me 2x squared equals negative 128. Now I divide by 2, which leaves x squared equals negative 64. Now I will take the square root of both sides of the equation. Now when you take the square root of x squared, it leaves x. The square root of 64 is 8. However, notice that was a negative, so that's 8i. And here is where you need to remember both the positive and negative solutions, because as we said, quadratic equations normally have 2 answers. So when you're writing out the answers, realize that this represents positive 8i and negative 8i. Another example of the square root property is given. This one, notice that the perfect square term is the entire parentheses here, because everything on the left-hand side of the equation is in parentheses and it's squared. So the step 1 has already been done. I just need to go directly to step 2 and put the radical symbol, the square root, on both sides. The square root of x minus 8, quantity squared, will leave me just a single x minus 8. And the square root of 16 is 4. However, we need to consider this for both positive and negative 4. That means I need to solve x minus 8 equals positive 4, and I need to solve a second time to get the second answer. And in this second equation, it will be x minus 8 equals negative 4. Now it's a simple solve. Just go ahead and add 8 to both sides of the equals and you get 12 as one solution. And when you add 8 to the second equation, you will get positive 4. There are your 2 solutions.